Imagine realizing your entire family, all 47 of them, saw you as utterly disposable, that they could orchestrate a dream wedding thousands of miles away, and simply forget you. Not by accident but by a chilling deliberate choice. This isn't just a story about a missed wedding. It's about the moment I pinpointed the exact instant my family decided I didn't matter, and how that shattering betrayal finally set me free. It all started so innocently. An envelope arrived on a Tuesday afternoon in March, cream-colored with elegant gold embossing. Inside was the formal invitation to my younger sister, Victoria's, wedding in the Maldives, scheduled for September. 6 months away. Plenty of time to prepare, right? Or so I thought. Hi, I'm Olivia Brennan. I was 32 at the time, working as a financial analyst in Chicago. Victoria, 3 years my junior, was the quintessential golden child. The one who could do no wrong in our parents' eyes. Our family? We were enormous. 47 people when you counted everyone, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, their spouses, their children. A big, boisterous Irish Catholic clan. The kind where Sunday dinners were mandatory and holidays meant renting out entire restaurant sections. Or at least that's what I believed we were. The wedding planning began immediately. Victoria called me the day the invitations went out, absolutely bubbling with excitement about her fiancé, Connor, and their dream destination wedding. She gushed about turquoise waters, white sand beaches, and romantic sunset ceremonies. I genuinely congratulated her, happy she'd found someone who made her so excited about life. Over the next few months, our family group chat exploded with every detail. Victoria shared photos of the resort, the ceremony location, the lavish reception menu, even the exotic excursions planned for guests. My mom posted pictures of her mother of the bride dress, while Dad, ever the joker, complained about the expense but declared his little girl deserved the world. Cousins debated rooming arrangements and signed up for scuba diving lessons. Everyone seemed utterly thrilled about this tropical adventure. Then the tickets started arriving. In July, just 2 months before the wedding, photos of flight confirmations and hotel bookings flooded the chat. My cousin Rachel squealed about her ocean view room. My brother Thomas posted his boarding pass. My Aunt Margaret shared a countdown on Facebook. One by one, every single family member received their travel documents. Everyone, that is, except me. When I tentatively asked Victoria about it, she texted back, "Don't worry, the wedding isn't tomorrow. You'll get yours soon enough." I tried to quell the rising panic. Maybe they were sending them out in batches. Maybe mine got lost in the mail. I waited another week then too. The group chat filled with packing lists and snorkeling gear recommendations. My cousin James asked if anyone wanted to split a rental car for island exploring. My Uncle Patrick posted a photo of his new questionable swimsuit. Still nothing for me. 3 weeks before departure in mid-August, I called my mother. I could hear music and laughter in the background. They were at my brother Thomas's house, having a family dinner. No one had even mentioned it to me. "Oh honey, I'm sure it's coming," Mom said dismissively, her voice already miles away. "You know how mail can be. Don't worry so much." "But everyone else has theirs already," I pressed, my voice a little tighter than I intended. "Can you just check with Victoria? Make sure nothing went wrong." "Everything's fine, Olivia. Stop creating problems where there aren't any. I have to go. We're about to eat." She hung up before I could even respond. My stomach dropped. Stop creating problems. It felt like a familiar sting. The night before the departure date, I sat alone in my apartment, scrolling through social media. My entire family was posting pre-vacation selfies at the airport, group photos at the gate, excited videos about the upcoming flight. Victoria did a live stream, showing off her carry-on packed with bridal magazines and face masks. I wasn't in any of those photos. Nobody mentioned my absence. It was like I didn't exist. At 6 a.m. the next morning, a Facebook notification jolted me awake. Victoria had posted a photo from inside the airplane, champagne glasses raised with a triumphant caption, "To our dream wedding destination." My hand shook as I opened the family group chat. Message after message flooded in. People sharing their seat numbers, complaining about turbulence, raving about the in-flight entertainment. 47 people on their way to paradise. Except no. 46. I wasn't there. I called my father. He answered on the 5th ring, airport announcements echoing behind him. "Hey sweetheart. Make it quick, we're about to board our connection." "Dad, where's my ticket?" My voice came out steadier than I felt, but inside I was crumbling. Everyone's at the airport except me. Silence stretched between us. Then I heard him exhale slowly. "Oh Olivia, I'm so sorry honey. We forgot to book your seat in the hotel room for you. Everything happened so fast with the group booking and we were coordinating so many people, and somehow you just slipped through the cracks and now everything's booked solid. It's peak season there." "Forgot." "Forgot." I repeated, my voice hollow, disbelieving. "You forgot? For 6 months you forgot about one of your own children. Don't be dramatic. he said, a touch of irritation creeping into his tone. These things just happen sometimes. We'll make it up to you, I promise. Look, I really have to go. We'll talk when we get back, okay? He disconnected. I sat there on my couch, phone still pressed to my ear, listening to dead air. 6 months of planning. 47 family members carefully coordinated. Flights booked, hotels arranged, excursions scheduled, meals planned. Every single person accounted for and included, except me. I was the only one forgotten. I opened Facebook again and scrolled through the mounting photos. My family boarding planes arriving in Singapore for their layover, posting countdown updates. Asterisk 10 hours until the Maldives. 8 hours. 6 hours. Asterisk then Victoria posted a selfie from the resort's welcome area. Tropical drink in hand, Connor kissing her cheek. The caption read, "Finally real happiness without the drama." Without the drama. I read those words 3 times before their meaning fully sank in. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a logistics error or an innocent oversight. This was deliberate. They planned this. They deliberately excluded me, and then, with that caption, they mocked me for not being there. I scrolled back through Victoria's previous posts from the past months, looking with new horrified eyes. I could see it now. Every wedding update that vaguely mentioned me was subtly negative. "Hope everyone can keep things positive and supportive," she posted after I suggested a less expensive venue. "Some people need to learn this day isn't about them." Shared after I'd mentioned I couldn't afford the designer bridesmaid dress she wanted. Keeping my circle small and drama-free for the big day. Posted with a photo of all my cousins except me. She'd been building a narrative, painting me as difficult, as someone who caused problems. I spent that entire day watching my family's vacation unfold on social media. Jet skiing, snorkeling, beach volleyball, sunset cocktails, spa treatments. Every single person having the time of their lives while I sat alone in my silent apartment, utterly gutted. My cousin Rachel posted a video tour of her room, squealing about the flower petals and chocolate turn-down service. My brother Thomas went live from the infinity pool. My mother posted a photo of the entire family gathered for the welcome dinner. Everyone dressed in tropical prints, smiling like they didn't have a care in the world. I counted the faces in that photo, 46 people. Someone knocked on my apartment door late that afternoon. My friend Samantha, who I'd known since college, stood there with Chinese takeout and a bottle of wine. "I saw the posts," she said quietly. "I can't believe they actually left you behind." I let her in, grateful I didn't have to explain. Samantha had met my family many times. She'd witnessed enough awkward interactions to understand the dynamics. "What are you going to do?" she asked as we ate, sprawled on my couch. "I don't know," I admitted, truly lost. "What can I do? Show up angry and prove I'm the dramatic one Victoria claims I am? Confront them and get gaslit about how it was an honest mistake? Cut them off and become the bitter family outcast? Or," Samantha said carefully, pouring more wine, "you could do something completely different. What if you just disappeared? Not dramatically, not angrily. Just quietly step back and see how long it takes them to notice you're gone." The idea took root in my mind. What would happen if I simply stopped participating? Stop responding to group chats, stop showing up to family events, stop trying to maintain relationships with people who clearly didn't value me. "That seems passive," I said doubtfully. "Does it?" she challenged. "Or is it the most powerful thing you could do? Stop giving them your energy, your time, your emotional labor. Let them sit with their choice to exclude you. By the way, if you're still with me and finding this story resonates, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I have so many more unbelievable experiences to share. And I'd love for you to join our community." The wedding weekend played out online like a reality show I couldn't stop watching. The rehearsal dinner, complete with speeches about family bonds and unconditional love. The ceremony itself, Victoria stunning in white on the beach at sunset. The reception under the stars, everyone dancing and celebrating. Not one person mentioned my absence. Nobody said, "Wish Olivia were here." Nobody asked where I was. Nobody seemed to care. On the flight home, my mother posted a photo of the whole family at the airport gate with the caption, "Best week of our lives with the best people in the world." That's when something inside me just went quiet. Not angry, not hurt, just quiet. I stopped checking the family group chat. I muted notifications from everyone. When my phone rang with a family member's name, I let it go to voicemail. I didn't return calls or texts. I simply went silent. The first week, no one noticed. They were all too busy posting throwback photos from the trip. The second week, I got a text from Victoria. "Did you get the professional wedding photos I emailed?" I didn't respond. The third week, my mother called twice. I didn't answer. By October, the messages grew more insistent. Asterisk Olivia, why aren't you responding? What's wrong with you? Don't be childish about the wedding thing. We said we were sorry. Asterisk sorry. I scrolled back through every message. Not once had anyone actually apologized. My father's "these things happen" wasn't an apology. Victoria's real happiness without the drama certainly wasn't. Nobody had acknowledged the hurt they caused or taken responsibility for deliberately excluding me. But here they were, irritated that I wasn't playing along anymore. I blocked them all from social media. Parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles. 46 people removed from my digital life in one evening. Then I changed my phone number and didn't share the new one with any family members. Samantha was the only one who knew how to reach me, and I trusted her not to give out my information. Work became my focus. I threw myself into projects with renewed energy. My boss noticed and assigned me to a high-profile client account. I started taking evening classes toward my MBA. I joined a gym and actually went regularly. I traveled alone for the first time, spending a long weekend in Montreal, just because I'd always wanted to visit. Life without my family was surprisingly peaceful. I made new friends through my MBA program. I started dating a guy named Andrew from my financial modeling class. I got promoted at work with a substantial raise. I moved to a better apartment in a nicer neighborhood. I adopted a rescue dog named Pepper who slept on my bed and greeted me with pure joy every time I came home. Months passed. Through Samantha, who remained friends with my cousin Rachel on social media, I heard scattered updates. My family was apparently baffled by my disappearance. They oscillated between anger and confusion. Some claimed I was overreacting. Others said I was being manipulative. Nobody, according to Samantha, seemed to understand that their actions had consequences. Thanksgiving came and went. I spent it with Andrew's family, who welcomed me warmly and asked genuine questions about my life. Christmas was quiet, just me and Pepper, and a small tree in my living room. I didn't miss the chaos of family gatherings, the subtle competition, the feeling of being perpetually overlooked. New Year's Eve, I was at a party with my MBA classmates when Samantha forwarded me a screenshot. My mother had posted in the family group chat. Has anyone heard from Olivia? It's been months. I'm starting to worry. Starting to worry? After 4 months of complete silence, now she was starting to worry? Someone responded. She's probably just busy with work. My brother Thomas wrote. She'll come around eventually. You know how Olivia gets. As if I were the problem. As if I were prone to disappearing for no reason, rather than responding to being deliberately excluded and mocked. Valentine's Day brought an unexpected development. Andrew proposed during a weekend trip to Milwaukee, surprising me during dinner at a restaurant overlooking the lake. I said yes, genuinely happy with this man who saw me, who valued me, who would never dream of forgetting to include me in important life events. We decided on a simple courthouse wedding for May, followed by a small dinner with close friends. No big production, no destination ceremony, no elaborate planning. Just the two of us and the people who actually cared about us. I didn't tell my family. Why would I? They'd made their position clear in the Maldives. Through Samantha's continued social media intel, I learned that Victoria was pregnant. My mother posted constantly about becoming a grandmother, her first grandchild. The miracle of new life. My brother Thomas and his wife announced they were expecting their second child. The family rallied around these happy occasions with enthusiasm and support. I felt nothing. These people were strangers to me now. My wedding day in May was perfect. A small ceremony at the courthouse. 15 guests total. Dinner afterward at an intimate Italian restaurant Andrew and I loved. Samantha was my maid of honor. Andrew's sister served as his best woman. Everyone there genuinely wanted to celebrate us. As I said my vows, I realized I hadn't thought about my biological family in weeks. They simply didn't factor into my life anymore. I was building something new, something better, something that didn't include people who saw me as disposable. The summer brought my promotion to senior analyst and enrollment in an accelerated MBA program. Andrew got a new job with a significant pay increase. We started looking at houses, talking about our future, making plans that didn't involve anyone's approval but our own. 1 year after the Maldives wedding, Samantha called me. Your dad's trying to reach you through me, she said carefully. He found my number somehow. Do you want to talk to him? I thought about it for a moment. Put him on three-way. I'll talk, but I'm not giving him my new number. She conferenced him in. Olivia. My father's voice sounded older somehow. Olivia, is that you? Please honey, if this is you, just say something. Your mother is beside herself. We need to talk about this. Whatever we did, we can fix it. You can't just cut us off forever. You forgot me, I said quietly, the words steady but sharp. 47 people and you forgot one of them. Your own daughter. And then you mocked me for not being there. It was a mistake, he insisted, his voice rising slightly. We tried to explain. Victoria was stressed with wedding planning. Things got confused. It was never intentional. Dad, I countered. You coordinated flights, hotels, excursions, and meals for 46 people across 6 months. That level of organization doesn't accidentally exclude someone. You chose to leave me out. Victoria's real happiness without the drama comment made that perfectly clear. Silence on his end. Where are you? He finally asked, changing tactics. Are you still in Chicago? Are you okay? I'm better than okay, I told him honestly. I'm happy. Actually happy. Not pretending for social media. I have a life with people who value me, who would never dream of forgetting to include me in something important. But we're your family, he pleaded. No, I corrected him, the finality chilling. You're the people I'm related to by biology. Family is the people who show up for you, who make space for you, who treat you like you matter. You're not those people. Olivia, please. Your mother wants to see you. Victoria feels terrible about everything. We all do. Victoria feels terrible? I scoffed softly. Is that why she hasn't called me once in 12 months? Why she posted real happiness without the drama, and never apologized? Why none of you noticed I was gone until months later? He had no answer for that. I have to go, I said. I have a life to get back to. Wait, can we meet? Can we talk about this in person? There's so much to explain. So much you don't understand about what happened. There's nothing to explain, Dad, I stated, the conversation draining me. You showed me exactly who you are and what I mean to you. I'm just finally believing you. I hung up and blocked that number too. Andrew found me on the couch afterward, Pepper's head in my lap. He sat down beside me, not saying anything, just being present. This was what love looked like. This was what family should be. They called, I said unnecessarily. What did they want? To explain. To fix things. To make me understand that forgetting me was somehow not their fault. Andrew shook his head. You don't owe them anything. I know, I sighed. It just feels strange, you know? A year ago I would have done anything to make them love me, to feel included, to be part of the inner circle. And now, I thought about that carefully. Now I realize I was chasing something that was never real. The big happy family was a performance, and I was never given a role in it. They didn't forget to include me in the Maldives trip. They chose not to include me, and then they gaslit me about it being an accident. My phone buzzed with a text from yet another unknown number. I opened it to find a message from Victoria. Asterisk, Mom told me Dad talked to you. I'm sorry for everything. I was overwhelmed with wedding planning and I let things get out of hand. Please, can we talk? I'm 7 months pregnant and I want my sister back in my life. Your niece needs her aunt. Asterisk, my niece needs her aunt. Not, I need my sister. Not, I miss you. Not, I'm sorry I deliberately hurt you and mocked you publicly. Just an appeal to obligation, to the role I was supposed to play in their ongoing family drama. I showed the text to Andrew. What are you going to do? He asked. Nothing, I said simply. She doesn't want me back because she values me or loves me. She wants me back because she needs something from me. Babysitting probably. Support during her pregnancy. Free labor dressed up as family obligation. I blocked that number too. The rest of the year unfolded peacefully. Andrew and I bought a house in September. A charming bungalow with a fenced yard for Pepper. I graduated with my MBA in December. Job offers were already coming in from 3 different firms. We hosted Thanksgiving at our new house with Andrew's family and our close friends. The dining room was packed with laughter and genuine warmth. Christmas morning, I woke up to Andrew making coffee in our kitchen. Pepper sprawled across our bed. Winter sunlight streamed through the windows. This was peace. This was home. This was everything I'd wanted and never had with my biological family. My phone rang with yet another unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Minutes later, I listened to my mother's message. Asterisk, Olivia, it's Mom. I know you don't want to talk to us, but I need you to listen. Victoria had the baby. A girl named Charlotte. She's beautiful and perfect, and she should have her aunt in her life. We all should. I know we hurt you. I know the Maldives situation was handled badly, but it's been over a year. Honey, at some point you need to forgive and move forward. That's what family does. Please call me back. Please come meet your niece. Please give us another chance. Asterisk, Andrew watched me delete the voicemail. You okay? He asked. Yeah, I said and meant it. I'm done explaining to them why their actions hurt me. I'm done trying to make them understand. I'm done accepting crumbs and calling it love. He pulled me into a hug. Good. New opportunities started emerging in the new year. One of the firms that courted me after graduation offered a director-level position in their New York office. Major title bump, significant salary increase, a chance to build a team from scratch. Andrew's company had a New York office too, and they'd been trying to get him to transfer for months. We talked about it seriously. Chicago held nothing for me anymore except bad memories disguised as family obligations. New York meant a fresh start, new adventures, building our life exactly as we wanted it. We put our house on the market in February and accepted jobs in New York by March. The week before our move, Samantha and I had dinner at our favorite restaurant. She'd been my constant throughout everything, never pushing me toward reconciliation, always supporting whatever decision I made. "I'm going to miss you," she said over dessert. "But I'm so proud of you. You walked away from toxicity and built something beautiful. I couldn't have done it without you," I told her honestly. "You were there that first day when I needed someone to see that I wasn't crazy." "You were never crazy," she assured me. "You were hurt by people who should have protected you, and you chose to protect yourself instead. That's not crazy. That's survival. Promise you won't give them my information if they come around again." "Never have, never will," she affirmed. We hugged goodbye, promising to visit often and stay close despite the distance. Moving day arrived. Professional movers loaded our belongings into a truck while Andrew and I did a final walkthrough of our Chicago house. So many good memories here. Our first home together. The place where I'd rebuilt my life into something I was proud of. As we drove away, following the moving truck toward our new adventure, I didn't look back. Not at the house, not at the city, not at the family that had shown me so clearly that I didn't matter to them. New York welcomed us with open arms. The energy, the pace, the possibilities. Our new apartment in Brooklyn had exposed brick and huge windows, and enough space for Pepper to zoom around chasing her toys. My new office overlooked the Manhattan skyline. Andrew's commute was a simple subway ride. Everything fell into place with surprising ease. I changed my last name legally, taking Andrew's surname. Olivia Brennan became Olivia Martinez. New name, new city, new life. The person who desperately wanted her family's approval didn't exist anymore. 6 months into our New York life, I got a LinkedIn message from my cousin Rachel. She was the one person from my family who Samantha had maintained social media contact with, the source of our updates about family drama. "Hey Olivia," the message read. Asterisk. "I know you probably don't want to hear from any of us, but I needed to reach out. I finally understand what happened to you. My sister Grace just got married, and my parents forgot to include me in the planning. I got a courtesy invitation to the local reception, but wasn't invited to the destination portion with the rest of the family. When I confronted them, they said I was being dramatic, that it wasn't a big deal, that I needed to get over it. I'm sorry I didn't stand up for you during the Maldives situation. I get it now. I'm so sorry." Asterisk. I stared at that message for a long time. Rachel, experiencing the same cold, calculated exclusion I had. The family pattern continuing, finding new targets, repeating the same cruelty. I wrote back. "I'm sorry you went through that. It's painful to realize the people who should love you unconditionally actually see you as disposable. For what it's worth, walking away was the best decision I ever made. There's peace on the other side of their toxicity. I hope you find it too." She responded immediately. Asterisk. "Can we talk please? I need to understand how you did it. How you just walked away and built a new life." Asterisk. We scheduled a video call for the following weekend. Rachel looked tired when her face appeared on screen. Older somehow than the cousin I remembered. "Thank you for talking to me," she said. "I wasn't sure you would." "I wasn't sure I would either," I admitted. "But I remember how alone I felt that day after the Maldives. If I can help you feel less alone now, I want to do that." We talked for 2 hours. She told me about her sister's wedding, the deliberate exclusion, the gaslighting when she tried to address it, the family grouping together to tell her she was overreacting, being difficult, causing unnecessary drama. The exact same script they'd used on me. "How did you do it?" she asked finally. "How did you just disappear?" "I stopped fighting for a place in their lives," I explained. "I stopped trying to prove I deserved better treatment. I stopped accepting their narrative that I was the problem. And then I invested all that energy into building something new with people who actually valued me." "But they're family," she whispered. "Biology isn't loyalty, Rachel. Being related doesn't obligate you to accept mistreatment. You can love people from a distance or you can choose not to love them at all. Either way, you get to decide who has access to your life." She cried a little. I understood. Letting go of the family fantasy is grief. Real and legitimate grief. "What do I do now?" she asked. "Whatever you need to do for your own peace. If that means limited contact, great. If that means full distance, also great. If that means trying to repair things, that's valid too. There's no wrong answer, except continuing to accept being treated poorly." After we hung up, Andrew asked if I was okay. "Yeah," I said. "It's just strange, you know? I spent so long thinking I was the problem, that if I could just be better, less dramatic, more accommodating, they'd treat me better. But it was never about me. It's just who they are." "Do you ever regret walking away?" he asked. I thought about that honestly. No, not once. My only regret is wasting so many years trying to earn love that was never going to be freely given. Life in New York continued to exceed expectations. I built an incredible team at work, mentoring young analysts the way I wish someone had mentored me. Andrew and I traveled whenever we could, exploring the world together. We made friends with our neighbors, joined a community garden, became regulars at our favorite coffee shop. 2 years after my disappearance, I got pregnant. Andrew and I were thrilled, scared, excited, overwhelmed. We told his family first, and they celebrated with champagne and tears of joy. His mother immediately started knitting baby blankets. His father began building a crib in their garage. This was what family looked like. This was love. I thought about telling my biological family. Part of me wanted them to know they'd have another grandchild in the world, one they'd never meet because of choices they made. But I decided against it. They didn't deserve to know. They'd lost the privilege of being in my life when they deliberately excluded me, and then refused to take responsibility for it. Our daughter was born in December, right before Christmas. We named her Sophia Grace Martinez. She was perfect. Tiny, strong, and ours. Andrew's family visited constantly, bringing food and supplies and endless support. Our friends organized meal trains and offered babysitting. We were surrounded by people who showed up for us. The people who shared my DNA? They had no idea Sophia existed. Around Sophia's first birthday, Samantha called again. "Your mom found my work number," she explained. "She left a voicemail about your dad having a heart attack. He's stable, but she wants you to know." Sometimes I wondered if they thought about me. If Victoria ever told her daughter Charlotte about the aunt she'd never meet. If my parents regretted their choices or if they convinced themselves I was the unreasonable one. If Thomas or my cousins or anyone else ever questioned the family narrative about what happened. Mostly though, I didn't think about them at all. They were characters in a story I'd finished reading, a chapter 1 closed and moved past. Sophia's first birthday party was everything Victoria's Maldives wedding wasn't. Small, intimate, filled with people who loved us genuinely. No performance, no social media production, no pretense. Just real connection and real joy. As I watched Andrew give Sophia her first taste of birthday cake, her face scrunching up in delighted confusion at the sweetness, I felt overwhelming gratitude. Gratitude that they forgot to book my seat to the Maldives. Gratitude that they showed me so clearly who they were. Gratitude that their rejection pushed me towards something infinitely better. Later that evening, after guests had left and Sophia was asleep, Samantha called. "Your mom tracked down my work number," she said quietly. "Left a voicemail. Your dad had a heart attack. He's okay, stable, but she wanted you to know." Andrew found me standing in the kitchen, phone still in my hand. "Everything okay?" he asked quietly. "My dad had a heart attack. He's stable, but my mom wanted me to know." I set the phone down on the counter. "What do you want to do?" Andrew asked, his eyes full of understanding. "Nothing," I said, the word coming easily. "I hope he recovers. I genuinely do. But I'm not going back to people who hurt me, just because they're finally experiencing consequences of losing someone they took for granted." He wrapped his arms around me from behind. "Okay. Is that terrible?" I asked, needing reassurance. "Does that make me a bad person?" "It makes you someone who learned to protect yourself when nobody else would," he murmured into my hair. "There's nothing bad about that." I didn't call back. I didn't send flowers or a card. I simply continued living my life, the life I built from the ashes of their rejection. Life was full and beautiful and entirely mine. One Saturday morning, taking Sophia and Pepper to the park, I saw a familiar face across the playground. My Aunt Margaret, my mother's sister, pushing a toddler on the swings. She looked up and our eyes met across the distance. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then Margaret started walking toward me, uncertainty written across her face. "Olivia," she said tentatively, "is that really you?" Sophia hid behind my legs, shy around strangers. I put a protective hand on her shoulder. "Hi, Margaret," I said neutrally. "I can't believe it. We've been looking for you for years. Your mother has been beside herself. Where have you been? Why did you disappear?" "I didn't disappear," I corrected her, my voice calm. "I removed myself from a situation where I was being mistreated. But it was a misunderstanding, a mistake with the wedding bookings," she insisted, already starting to get agitated. "You just vanished without giving anyone a chance to explain." There it was. The same gaslighting, the same refusal to acknowledge what actually happened. "It wasn't a misunderstanding, Margaret. It was a deliberate choice to exclude me and then mock me for not being there. And nobody apologized. Nobody took responsibility. They just got angry that I stopped accepting being treated poorly." "You're being ridiculous. Family forgives each other. You don't just cut people off forever over one little incident." I looked down at Sophia, then back at Margaret. "This is my daughter. Her name is Sophia. She'll never know you or anyone else from that side of her family. Not because I'm being petty or holding a grudge, but because I'm protecting her from people who think love should be conditional and mistreatment should be tolerated." Margaret's face went pale. "You can't do that." You can't keep her from her family. Watch me, I said calmly. You taught me that family is optional when you all chose to exclude me. I'm just applying that same logic. Come on, Sophia. Let's go to the other side of the park. As we walked away, Margaret called after me. Your mother deserves to meet her granddaughter. You're being cruel. I kept walking. Sophia looked up at me with curious brown eyes. Who was that lady, Mama? Nobody important, sweetie. Just someone I used to know. That evening, Samantha called. Your family is trying to reach you through me again, she said wearily. Apparently Margaret saw you and told everyone. Your mom sent me an email. Victoria left a voicemail at my office. Do you want me to block them? If you can, I said. I'm sorry they're bothering you. Don't be, she replied. I just wanted you to know they're ramping up again. Within the next week, I noticed the attempts escalating. Someone tried to friend request me on the few professional networking sites where I still had profiles under my maiden name. I made those profiles private and changed my last name everywhere to Martinez. Andrew and I discussed getting a P.O. box for any remaining mail forwarding just in case. Andrew watched me methodically updating privacy settings and removing any trace of my old name online. You okay? He asked. I'm better than okay, I said, a sense of empowerment flooding me. I'm finally making sure they can never find me again. Sophia's 7th birthday brought unexpected news. Andrew got offered a position in London. It was an incredible opportunity. A chance to lead their European expansion. We'd always talked about living abroad someday. Sophia was young enough that the transition would be easy. My company had a London office that would welcome me with open arms. We decided to go for it. Selling our New York apartment, packing up our life again, preparing for another adventure. This time even further from Chicago, even more distance between me and the people who'd shown me I didn't matter. The night before our flight to London, Samantha came over for a goodbye dinner. She'd visited us in New York regularly over the years, the one connection I'd maintained from my Chicago life. I'm so proud of you, she said as we watched Sophia and Andrew play with the dogs in the living room. Look at everything you've built. Look at how happy you are. I owe you, I told her. You were the one who suggested I just disappear that first day. You gave me permission to choose myself. You would have figured it out eventually, she smiled. I just helped speed up the process. We hugged goodbye at the door, promising to visit, knowing our friendship would survive the distance like it had survived everything else. London was magical. The history, the culture, the opportunities. Sophia enrolled in a British primary school, and came home with a cute accent and stories about her new friends. Andrew thrived in his role. I built relationships with our European clients and expanded my influence within the company. We bought a house in Richmond close to the Thames, with a garden where the dogs could run. We made friends with our neighbors, fellow expats and native Londoners alike. We traveled throughout Europe on long weekends. We built a life that felt like something out of a dream. 8 years after the Maldives wedding, I was promoted to Senior VP, company-wide recognition, featured in industry publications, speaking at conferences. Everything I'd worked for, achieved without any support from the people who shared my DNA. The success felt sweeter knowing I'd done it entirely on my own terms. One afternoon, sorting through mail at our London home, I found an envelope that looked official. It had been forwarded through several addresses, somehow tracking me from Chicago to New York to London. My mother must have hired someone to find me. Inside was a long letter, multiple pages, in my mother's cramped, desperate handwriting. She wrote about my father's declining health, about Victoria's struggles with her second pregnancy, about Thomas's divorce, about various family dramas and crises. She wrote about how much they missed me, how empty holidays felt without me, how wrong everything had gone. And then, buried in the third page, something that almost looked like accountability. Asterisk. I've had a lot of time to think about what happened with Victoria's wedding. I've read books about family dynamics and emotional abuse. I've talked to a therapist. I'm starting to understand that what we did to you wasn't just a mistake. It was cruel. We excluded you deliberately because you questioned some of Victoria's choices, and we wanted to punish you for not going along with everything she wanted. Your father and I convinced ourselves we were protecting Victoria's special day. We didn't think about what we were doing to you. We didn't care honestly. And then when you disappeared, we were angry at you rather than looking at our own behavior. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I know this letter probably doesn't matter to you anymore. I know you've built a whole life without us, but I needed to say it anyway. You deserved better from us. You deserved better from me. I failed you as a mother, and I'm sorry. Asterisk. I read those words 3 times. The apology I'd wanted 8 years ago. The accountability I craved. The admission that they'd been wrong and I'd been right. Felt hollow now. Too little, too late, and still hedged with their own suffering, their own needs, their own desire for their resolution. I showed the letter to Andrew that evening. What are you going to do? He asked gently. Nothing, I said. An apology that comes 8 years later, only after they've exhausted all other options and hired someone to track me down, isn't really an apology. It's just another manipulation tactic. Do you want to respond? I thought about it carefully. No. I spent years wanting them to understand how much they hurt me. Years hoping they'd take responsibility. Years waiting for a genuine apology. Now that it's finally here, I realize I don't need it anymore. I don't need their validation or their understanding or their regret. I moved on years ago. I threw the letter away. Sophia came running into the kitchen, home from school, full of stories about her day. She hugged my legs and chattered about her math lesson and the game she played at recess. This was my family now. This beautiful girl, this wonderful man. This life we'd created together. The people in Chicago who'd forgotten me? They were just ghosts of a past I'd outgrown. Years continued passing in London. Sophia grew into a confident, kind teenager. Andrew and I celebrated our 15th wedding anniversary. I was promoted to executive vice president, overseeing all European operations. We traveled extensively, showed Sophia the world, gave her everything my biological family never gave me. Unconditional love, consistent support, the knowledge that she mattered. Sometimes I wondered what my life would have looked like if I'd gone to the Maldives, if they'd included me in that trip, if I'd stayed connected to people who saw me as an obligation rather than a gift. I would have missed out on everything that truly mattered. The career I built on my own merits. The relationship with Andrew that flourished without family drama. The peace of living authentically without trying to earn love that should have been freely given. Getting left out of that wedding was without a doubt the best thing that ever happened to me. On what would have been the 20th anniversary of Victoria's Maldives wedding, I created a private social media account under my married name. I posted a simple photo of me, Andrew, and Sophia in front of the Eiffel Tower, taken during our recent Paris trip. The caption read, "Grateful for every person in my life who shows up, who sees me, who makes space for me. Real family isn't biology, it's choice." I didn't tag anyone from my past. Didn't reference the Maldives or the exclusion or any of it. Just shared my happiness with a few trusted friends I'd connected with online. Within a day, I got a message request on Instagram from Rachel, my cousin, the one who'd experienced her own family exclusion years ago. After our initial conversations through LinkedIn, we'd exchanged occasional emails but largely lost touch as our lives went in different directions. "I saw your post through a mutual friend's share," she wrote. "I need you to know that you saved my life. After we talked that first time, I finally found the courage to walk away from the family. It was the hardest thing I ever did, but I'm so much happier now. I met someone wonderful. We got married 6 years ago. We have 2 kids and none of them know. None of them are invited into this chapter of my life. Thank you for showing me it was possible." I smiled reading her message. "Congratulations on everything. I'm so happy you found your way to peace. It's not easy choosing yourself when everyone tells you that's selfish. But we deserve to be loved well." She sent back a heart emoji and a photo of her 2 children playing in the backyard. A new generation free from the toxic patterns of our shared family. Breaking cycles. Building something better. That's what healing looks like. Not reconciliation with people who hurt you. Not forcing forgiveness where there's been no genuine accountability. But building something new and refusing to pass on the pain. I'm 52 now. Sophia is 20, in her 3rd year at university, studying environmental science, thriving in every way. Andrew and I just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary with a trip to the Greek islands. I'm now Chief Operating Officer of our company's European division, something I never imagined achieving when I was that hurt, 32-year-old woman watching her family leave for the Maldives without her. My biological family? I have no idea what they're doing. I've never looked back, never checked social media for them, never asked anyone for updates. They exist somewhere in the world, living their lives, probably still convinced they were right and I was unreasonable. It doesn't matter anymore. They taught me the most valuable lesson I ever learned. You can't make people value you. You can only decide you value yourself enough to walk away from those who don't. Sometimes people ask me if I regret losing my family, if I miss having that large extended network, if I ever wish I'd forgiven them and maintained contact. The answer is always a resounding no. Because I didn't lose my family. I lost people who pretended to be family while treating me as disposable. What I gained was worth infinitely more. Self-respect, peace, authentic relationships built on mutual care rather than biological obligation. The family I chose, the family I built with Andrew and Sophia and our friends and colleagues who show up consistently with love and support? That's real. That's what matters. Getting forgotten for that Maldives trip wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of my real life. The life where I finally understood that I was worth more than the crumbs of affection they occasionally threw my way. I just said that happens and disappeared. And in that disappearance I found everything I'd been looking for. A place where I belonged, people who valued me, and the peace that comes from knowing I'd never settle for less than I deserved again. Sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic confrontation or elaborate payback schemes. Sometimes it's simply living well, building better, and refusing to let people who hurt you have any more of your time or energy. They wanted real happiness without the drama. I gave them exactly that and found my own real happiness in the process without them. That's how this story ends. Not with reconciliation or forgiveness or some heartwarming family reunion, but with a woman who chose herself, protected her peace, and built a beautiful life with people who earned the privilege of being in it. And honestly, I wouldn't change a single thing. What about you? Have you ever had to walk away from family to find your own peace? Or had people show you their true colors in a way that completely changed your path? I really want to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.